Yeah, I think having something like having an alternative exist is really cool. Like Xorg is going to continue doing the Xorg thing because Wayland's part of that project as well. But I don't see Xorg proper ever actually sort of getting massive development again. So having this sort of new approach where you're not tied to what existed with Xorg before and trying to fix problems that exist with it, like honestly, I just think it's cool. I do just think this project is cool.
Yes, also so one reason is I try to avoid even part of that core protocol. I won't implement them. So I've thought about that. Like, since I don't implement part of the core protocol, it can't really be called an X11 server. So maybe I will call it something else. Maybe I will make its own protocol and just call it a subset of X11.
I think, look, at the end of the day, so the user, as long as they can run the things they want to run, and that's going to be a long time down. Actually, how long do you think? Sorry, I keep jumping around a lot. I do this sometimes. How long do you expect it to take to get to a point where you could go and daily drive it? Obviously, you're going to have problems to deal with for a long time, but you personally, for the stuff that you use.
So let's see. Like, if I focused on it 100%, it will only take a few months to do that. So it won't be that long time. And also, like all of this attention to Phoenix, it got some attention from companies. So there's one company that you also know that I won't mention now because I don't know if it's supposed to be private information.
Fair enough.
But there's one company that wants me to make a display server for them. It's an open source company as well. So like I could use Phoenix for that, and then I will be paid to work on Phoenix. Then it will have proper support quickly, and also HDR, because HDR is something they want. So it's not really decided yet if it will be Phoenix or something else, because they don't really need they don't need most features like X11 and Wayland stuff like that. They just need very simple display server. So yeah, I will see how I should do that with that. But if I use Phoenix for that, then it will be very quickly work with a proper real environment.
That's cool. That actually is really cool.
Yeah, so if I get a job, they also want me to move to USA and stuff like that. So that's good.
Is that something you're interested in doing?
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, I thought we DC'd for a moment. We good?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you cut out for a moment. So I guess if somebody wanted to like help out with the project, what would you suggest that they do? Would it be just to find an application and see what protocols it uses and just go from there, or do you have another idea?
Right. So right now, I don't accept contributions.
Okay.
Because I want to make it. There are some things I need to set up it, like some basic things that are missing that I want to set up first, and then I will mainly code that I will accept first, because it won't be that useful to test application, because I know that the application won't run. So there will be a lot of application that won't run. So, but I've already got a pull request, even though I closed it. So, but yeah, it was bad. But I think I'll get at least. I'll try to focus on getting DVM to run after I get applications run, and hopefully that should be not that long to do. So after I get that, then maybe people could try and run application and see which ones are working or not.
So with Xorg kind of being the X11 server that people think of, one of the things you did bring up in the post was a lot of issues with Xorg get treated as X11 issues. And I've done this myself. I was under the assumption that things like HDR were an unsolvable problem with Xorg. Things like proper support variable refresh rate, fixing global shortcuts, things like that. I guess how I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but how do you try to navigate these sort of problems where people seem to have this misunderstanding of what X11's limitations actually are?
Right, so that's actually one reason I want to make Phoenix, because although I was working on it, but then I see that people seem to misunderstand what X11 is. Because they say, why would you want to do that when it has these issues? But it doesn't have those issues, because it just people think that because the only X11 server that they use is Xorg, and Xorg has those issues, so they assume that must be how it is in the protocol.
Mhm.
Like there are even some Wayland compositors, developers that think that is the case.
Mhm.
But when you clearly read the protocol, there aren't really that many issues. It doesn't define how things should really work, because right in the case of X11, it's not even made just for Linux. It's also made for Windows and everything. Like all of that can work because everything is abstract how it works.
Mhm.
So you can run the Xorg server like right now on Windows and Mac as well. And so the issues we have in the people have is not in the X11 protocol.
Mhm.
And that Phoenix will be one proof of that. That's ASOS Nation in X11.
That sort of leads me into another thing I wanted to ask. Why do you think there was this push towards Wayland? Obviously, we talked about the frame perfect stuff before, but a push towards Wayland instead of building a new X11 server that addressed the problems people had with Xorg.
I think one reason is it's not fun to work on old technology. If you're not paid to work on something, you don't work on something that is old.
Mhm.
That's usually the case. People want to work on something that is new and exciting.
Yeah, look at the web development space.
Yeah, but then I also think there is obviously there's some. I think the Red Hat is what is more interested in Wayland than the X11,
Mhm.
and also the developers here. So everything is moving because of that reason. But yeah, I think the main reason is because X11 looks like old and ugly.
Mhm.
Like I know that the protocol is not perfect. There are some issues with it, but you can make it better. Just that it doesn't look that interesting. Like if it doesn't look new and shiny.
Mhm. On that note, you said there are problems with X11 protocols. What problems actually what are actual real problems with X11?
Right. So in the there are many, but it's not really. One example is not the problem. Is you have a lot of old things that in protocol that you don't need in the new really need.
Mm.
Like you have font stuff that clients instead handle now, with free type and stuff like that. So I try to make it easier in the Phoenix by not implementing them because applications don't really use them anymore.
Mm.
But then there are some issues in the way the protocol is designed. It's not designed consistently, and for example, they didn't think about the size of things. Some protocol messages might be long, very long, and the protocol is not handled designed that, so they put extension on top of that to be able to handle that.
Right.
But in my case, I will be able to not deal with that. I don't have to deal with that because the reason they added that was because they you had the rendering functions in the core protocol, like render a lot of rectangles, stuff like that. And since I want support that, I want to really need to support that part of the extension as well. So yes, I think people should have long ago like make an extra level server that is just a subset of the protocol. Then you wouldn't have to focus on the issues with it.